It started like any other show, but ended in a nightmare no one could have imagined. Sam Collins, a charismatic and passionate orca trainer at Oceanland Park in Florida, dove into the pool that day expecting cheers, applause, and another unforgettable performance. What unfolded in the next 8 minutes would leave the audience screaming, families traumatized, and a horrifying truth exposed. This wasn't just a freak accident. It was a tragic unraveling of a broken system, one hiding beneath glimmering lights, painted smiles, and splashing fins. At Nature's Last Call, we uncover the dark truths behind the world's most captivating wildlife encounters, and this one may be the most chilling yet. Stay tuned until the end for a shocking twist about Caro, one that will change the way you view marine parks forever. But before we dive into the video, make sure to like the video and hit subscribe so you never miss out on our upcoming videos. Sam Collins, a rising star with a love for the ocean. Born and raised in Monterey, California, Sam Collins had saltwater in his veins. As a child, while others watched cartoons, Sam was glued to ocean documentaries. He spent his teenage years volunteering at marine rescue centers and helping injured sea turtles and seals return to the wild. After earning a degree in marine biology from the University of Miami, his dream of working closely with marine life came true when he joined Oceanland Park in Florida. Within just a year, Sam earned a reputation for his deep empathy and ability to bond with animals, especially orcas. His natural charisma made him a crowd favorite, and he was soon assigned to work with the park's star attraction, Caro, the largest orca in captivity at Oceanland. Their shows were a visual masterpiece of trust, skill, and affection, or so it seemed. Caro, the crowd pleaser with a dark history. Caro was captured in 1997 from Icelandic waters at the age of 3. After being separated from his pod, he was transported across continents and spent the next 25 years confined in concrete tanks, far removed from his natural environment. Despite being trained to perform tricks and interact with humans, Caro showed signs of distress throughout his captivity. Trainers observed that he sometimes refused commands, slammed his tail against the tank walls, or floated motionless for long periods, behaviors considered abnormal for a healthy orca. Leaked documents and testimonies from former staff revealed that Caro had previously injured 2 trainers, though neither incident was made public. Internal risk assessments flagged Caro as a high-stress animal and recommended removing him from regular shows temporarily. However, the park's management, keen on boosting revenue and maintaining visitor numbers, refused to pull him from the lineup. Caro was the main draw, and profits, it seemed, outweighed caution. Orcas in captivity face immense psychological and physical challenges. In the wild, orcas swim up to 100 miles a day, live in complex family groups, and communicate through unique dialects. In contrast, captive orcas are restricted to tanks barely 0.1% the size of their natural range, and often live in isolation or with unrelated individuals, which leads to aggression, boredom, and mental breakdown. June 12, 2022, the day of the incident. The stands were filled with nearly 3,000 spectators. Children waved orca plushies, couples sipped sodas, and cameras were ready to capture the famous final stunt of the show, when Sam would dive off Caro's back during a synchronized breach. Everything seemed to be going according to plan. But when Sam gave Caro the cue for the final jump, the massive orca hesitated. Instead of surfacing beside Sam, he dived deep, then re-emerged at high speed and rammed into Sam mid-swim. The audience at first clapped, thinking it was part of the performance. The clapping soon turned to screaming when Caro turned aggressive. Caro seized Sam in his jaws and dragged him beneath the surface. Trainers blew emergency whistles, tossed buckets of fish, and waved signal flags, all techniques to distract or de-escalate an orca mid-attack. None worked. Sam briefly surfaced, screaming, before being pulled back under. Blood tinged the turquoise water. Children sobbed. Parents covered their eyes. For over 8 minutes, Caro refused to release Sam. Emergency personnel rushed to the pool, but by the time they retrieved him, it was too late. Sam had suffered multiple fractures, internal bleeding, and drowned. What really caused the attack? The official coroner's report confirmed what many already suspected. Sam's cause of death was a combination of blunt force trauma and drowning. His body bore signs of repeated impact, deep bruises, broken ribs, and water-filled lungs that told a tragic story in silence. But the deeper cause was more systemic and far more disturbing. Marine biologists and animal behaviorists have long warned about the dangers of keeping orcas in captivity. Despite being highly intelligent, emotionally complex creatures, orcas are often treated as tools for entertainment, performers in a watery circus. Over time, the psychological toll on these animals manifests in aggression, self-harm, and unpredictable behavior. Depression, dorsal fin collapse, and signs of neurotic pacing are often ignored. In the last 40 years, captive orcas have been responsible for dozens of attacks on trainers, some merely warnings, others deadly outbursts. In the wild, however, there has never been a recorded fatal attack on a human by an orca. That contrast alone speaks volumes. Sam, despite his years of experience, rigorous safety protocols, and genuine bond with the animals, was another casualty of a system built on suppressing nature's instincts. He had spent years reading their behavior, often warning colleagues when something felt off. And as it turns out, in the weeks leading up to his death, he had been documenting strange changes in the orca's behavior, especially in one particular whale. It was as if Sam knew the end was near. But the real twist, he prepared for it. If you have made this far, stay with us a little more, because what Sam did before his death will shock you. Public reaction, outrage, grief, and blame. The internet exploded. Within hours, hashtags like #JusticeForSam, #FreeCaro, and #BanOrcaShows trended across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. The video of the attack, recorded by multiple audience members, circulated rapidly. While many were heartbroken for Sam, others focused their outrage on Oceanland and their disregard for both human and animal welfare. Protesters camped outside the park. Animal welfare organizations, including PETA and the Whale Sanctuary Project, called for an immediate investigation. Former Oceanland employees spoke out anonymously, revealing a culture of silence where raising concerns about animal welfare or trainer safety could result in dismissal. In one leaked internal email, dated just a month before the attack, a senior trainer warned, "Caro is on edge. We are one mistake away from disaster." That warning went unheeded. The family speaks out. Sam's grieving parents, Ellen and Mark Collins, held a press conference days after the incident. Fighting through tears, Ellen recounted her son's last conversation with her. "He told me he loved Caro deeply, but feared the environment he worked in. He said it felt like a pressure cooker waiting to explode." Sam's parents, backed by civil rights lawyers, filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Oceanland. They claimed gross negligence and demanded full transparency regarding the safety protocols and psychological assessments of the animals. The lawsuit also aimed to reveal whether Oceanland had falsified animal welfare reports to mislead regulatory authorities. Caro's fate, the upcoming twist. In the days following the tragedy, Oceanland executives debated Caro's fate behind closed doors. Public pressure mounted to spare him, especially as more information about the orca's past surfaced, while some called for his euthanization, citing safety concerns. Others argued that Caro was a victim, not a villain. Then came the unexpected twist. Sam Collins had left behind a will. In it, he explicitly requested that if he were ever injured or killed by a marine animal, particularly Caro, the animal should not be punished. Instead, he wanted the orca retired to an ocean sanctuary, where it could live out the rest of its life, free from performance and confinement. This act of foresight and compassion stunned the public. Sam, even in his final wishes, showed unwavering love for the animal he had trained and bonded with. Rather than blame, he offered forgiveness and a path forward. Following this revelation, petitions to build or support ocean sanctuaries surged in popularity. Celebrities, including actors, musicians, and animal advocates, backed the campaign. A GoFundMe to relocate Caro raised over $3 million in just 1 week. The bigger picture: ending orca captivity. Sam's tragic end reignited a global debate. Should marine mammals be kept in captivity at all? While some parks have begun evolving, SeaWorld, for instance, ended orca breeding and is phasing out performances. Others, like Oceanland, lag behind. Financial incentives continue to outweigh ethical concerns. Studies show that captive orcas have significantly shorter lifespans than their wild counterparts. While wild orcas can live up to 90 years, captive orcas often die before 30. They also suffer from collapsed dorsal fins, tooth decay, and chronic illness, all indicators of poor health. Countries like Canada and France have already banned orca captivity. Activists are pushing for the US to follow suit. Sam's story may become the catalyst for real, lasting change. Your voice matters. This story isn't just about Sam or Caro. It's about us, all of us. It's about how we, as a society, value life, empathy, and truth over profit and illusion. Do you believe marine parks should continue showcasing orcas? Should animals like Caro be freed to sanctuaries? What would you have done in Sam's shoes? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We read every one. And if this story moved you, shocked you, or opened your eyes, please like this video, share it with others, and subscribe to our channel. We're here to uncover hidden truths and fight for those without a voice. Thank you for being here. Stay tuned for our next expose. The truth behind dolphin training camps. It's one you won't want to miss.